Hello everybody, this is Frizzy Demon here, and now we're playing Digimon World 3 with only Renamon. We're allowed to use no items in battles, we're allowed to use outside evolution routes, and of course, only Renamon. There's no point in using anything else. We start the game off waiting for my two friends lazily in the game corner as a message pops up on the board saying that an evil organization's been doing stuff to Digimon. Now, this game came out in 2003. If you got the early version, 2002. The only issue is that the original game, the beta version, you start off in a game world, and you're like a virtual reality, and you're going in, but yet but you end up in the digital world instead. But in this one, and also we're sped up by 2 times speed. But in this version, it's they know they're in the digital world, but it's like a mess. And my friend's trying to tell me, figure out which set. This game starts off with 3 different sets, which cover all bases: virus, vaccine, and data types. Unlike the second game, which only had you to choose between one of the 3 between the 3 guards. And of course, I call myself Frezzy here. I was thinking help me, probably, but nah. The other thing is, too, we chose the set with Renamon and Agumon, the Renamon Agumon. I think it's like the battle set or something like that. Anyways, I skipped some of this stuff because it takes, like, forever for you. Power of editing. I should have done that. I have, like, a power of editing sequence. Transitions are really bad because I didn't add transitions, but I thought it was alright. So, my friend's a really bad character and decides, a bad friend, and runs off ahead into the chambers. The chamber pod is supposed to send you to the digital world. In this game, it's a little weird onto how it is, because they got some dialogue that goes back to the beta days, and then some dialogue that goes to this game. There's also, supposedly, you're able to catch Digimon. For example, the beta and this, I had to skip the cutscene. That's like, if anyone watched Sayo, sort of online, whatever you call it, it was like that. And, this is the start of the thing. Like I said, this game was supposed to be like Pokemon where you catch characters. They weren't originally going to give you 3 characters at the start. They were going to have 3 slots. Similar to the Pokemon 6 slots, but 3. You got 3 slots with 3 characters in it. Apparently, you're supposed to be able to catch Kunamon and a couple of others. The characters' walk speed's really fast for some reason, and yes, there's a couple of skips here and there. We didn't miss anything important. So, I have to sit there and wait for the Digimon to load. But one of the things we're going to do is we're going to allow armor. But the reason why we chose Renamon, I should explain this now, is Renamon sucks. And it's like, I'm doing like a dry bread run, where I grabbed the most crappiest characters. There's 3 characters that are crappy in this game: Renamon, Patamon, and Gilmon. Gilmon's crappy because he's evolution route hardly gives any damaging tech attacks. All his techniques are anyways. Momomon, Kumamon, and Kotamon were originally characters that were supposed to be your starters to choose from, which they stopped. They didn't do, but they're at least in all selections. Renamon's such a bad character. She's a glass cannon similar to Lucario, but there's drawbacks. So, Renamon has weak attack, really high spirit. Everything's weak on her except for her spirit, and her speed is mediocre at best. I got my personal account. That's the reason why I stopped it, because I'm doing I do in between saves, and we get made up with the old funky old man that tells us, "Oh, you're a newcomer? Why don't you battle me? Gain some experience." Although the game actually tells you it's better to play with one character throughout the whole game versus having all three, and it makes sense because you have to go constantly in between the selections. There's a guy that did he did an Agumon run, and there's another person. Now he did an Agumon run only on one episode, so you can sit there and watch a 30-minute episode watching somebody play Agumon. The only issue is he had in the rules inside evolution, which I did outside evolution. There's a reason why I did that was so I could get access to outside evolution moves. Like see right there, Renamon. Momomon could have took a couple hits. Momomon's a really good character. The only drawback is that he could not be put onto the TV show probably because he turns into a Nazi in his ultimate form. He actually would have been a better replacement for Gilmon for the show. Season 3 of Digimon was so good. It was one of the most popular. The first season was nostalgia. The second season was a horrible retake on nostalgia, and the third season hit it on the mark. Because what they did was Gilmon was a replacement of Agumon, which is the main character, which is the big shot. Agumon's still way more liked, but it's just because it's... And I have to go to this old man to get rid of my Agumon and my Momomon. I really hate these controls, but it's better than playing on the computer, and the computer's a little... The computer I can't record on, because I was literally I would have to put an epilepsy warning on it, and it would be so bad it was almost unplayable sometimes. I couldn't do that. But this game has a really interesting... And actually, the card game in this game isn't the card game you play in real life, fun fact. But it's a very it's popular, as in they got up to the PS2 in card games, which are the card game that came out with this game. So you just go down to the end. You heal. I need to heal up. The game's really simple. There's a patch. So this is a patch version. So this came out around 2004 or above, but it's still the same game. Fundamentally, what the patch was, there's some patches in here for some bugs that happens. One of the patches is for if you get the folder before, card folder before you go to a kid that gives you a quest. See, I'm going to go down here, downstairs. There's a thing here. You're supposed to get what's called a Godamon card there. But if you get the card folder prior, you'll get random items. Also, it's vice versa. If you don't get the card folder before you talk to the kid... I found out this because I played some, like I said, I have my personal playthrough unrecorded where I'm playing with Kotomon only. I'm going with high. Kotomon's got like decent, his level ups are decent, and that's the other thing too. No IV training. So you'll see this every time you level up, you have to go to, well, you don't have to, but you get what's called TP, and TP is training points, which makes sense. In these training points, you go to a gym and you train up different stats like your resistances and stuff. Right now, you can't do anything until you get, I think, your ultimate. And then this is sped up 4 times, so maybe a epilepsy warning should have been put in the beginning of the video, but I wasn't exactly sure. So I'm probably going to have to add that in later. Power of editing. Yay. Anyways, it's just this game. There is one other thing, is that another character that's available to you is Vmon, but here's a warning: never get Vmon. If you want the Imperial Drum online, get a Renamon aligned. Get a starter set with Renamon. See, nothing. It wouldn't let you. I was just double checking because I tried getting the mission first. Noticeably, the emulator makes it so that way the water physics isn't running like too much. I mean, running faster than it. Well, I mean, it's like decently fast. For example, some of the other things too. Because if I play this on the computer, like his little, don't know what you call it, thingy that floats around his head. See, Renamon's horrible. Renamon's supposed to be, basically, Renamon is your precursor to Lucario in Pokemon. It's such an old game. Yeah, so it has basically similar stats to Lucario, where Lucario's got higher special attack than attack, but we looked it up, it's like 5 or 10 difference. But by the time, I was like, no. Because I believe by the time you actually level up, you're in Black and White too, you end up with more special attack IVs. Anyways, this is going to be for our first couple of matches. Actually, Renamon's so bad, and the same thing with Momomon too, you're going to have this issue, where Renamon, both Renamon, Momomon, Patamon can actually get taken out in the first thing. That's the reason why it's considered bad, but the reason why Renamon's so bad is that Renamon doesn't get healing, but Patamon does. So later on, Patamon will get healing, but you got your character sitting around, and the character selection isn't so bad. I mean, like I said, the other dude did Diaboromon at the end. I don't want to do Diaboromon. I actually want to stay close to the Renamon 9. And really, I'm trying to get all my stuff out during this video because I'll probably forget some stuff. There is no restraints on what I train her in, but it's probably good. The first thing you need to do is train her defense. But I think that's going to be probably about it all today, and goodbye. And that's it.